Alright, got some audio going. I don't know what sound it's picking up, but it's picking up something from somewhere. Welcome, 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 folks. It's been a long time. About a month or more since I've done a live stream. So, welcome. I appreciate everyone joining, if anyone joins. But today I'm just testing some stuff. I'm going to go over real quick the 2.5 update in the Bowling app. So we're going to pull that up here in a second. Let me go here. Gotta get down here. Gonna make this live. This is the new update here for 2.5. One of the things that I did do here is I did redesign the home screen a little bit. And you'll see there's this little widget. I am connected on my phone, as you can see. All right, if I scroll up. So everything that we're doing right now is in the dev environment on this device. It's just showcasing it here for everyone, which is nice. So one of the things that I did do is I kept this. This will show your last week's score right here, this top part right here. Right there, that'll show you last week's score. Right, I didn't put anything in there, so there's nothing going to be there. So I just tested stuff, so this thing's going to pop up and whatnot. You see this little scrolly bar? It auto scrolls. This actually right here, this little section that says your best ball, that will actually change when you're in the middle of a tournament. It should showcase your current stand-ins and stuff if they are using Tournament Sense Director application, which we're going to showcase real quick later on as well. I reorganized and just did the graphics a little better here with the tournament session, league session, and quick practice. We're going to actually do a quick practice now. I just want to showcase some of the things that we've added into the 2.5. We did add a calendar feature, right? So that way you can have a calendar and you can see where you've done different events and stuff. Hold on a second. Got a puppy in the room. Z baby, you gotta lay down, mama. Yeah, I know. You can't be eating Papa's stuff here. You got toys right there, mama. Got a puppy in the room, so forgive me. We did add calendar, right? So you can actually calendar out stuff, and you can see that, this thing's scheduled out here, and so forth, which is pretty nice. We added some match play, right? This was added actually in the 2.2, and this actually came out because someone from Reddit wanted to know a shutout calculator. So we added that shutout calculator, and you basically give the opponent's score, what frame you're on, and it'll tell you the max possible score if either of you were to strike out. All right, that's pretty cool. Match history, that actually gets kind of into our challenges here. You are able to partner people in the app, and when you partner someone, you can now set up random challenges, high game, strike count, target score, series, spare conversion. I'll add more challenges as that comes out, right? We'll probably need some refinement with that there. Define a league or tournament. This one's actually pretty cool because this links directly in with the Director app. And I can see here past events, right? There's another test event. This one right here, AK had did, right? So I can go in and I can check stand-ins, right, of past events and stuff. And you can see where I do need to add in cashed amount, right? To show the cash, the payout stand-ins, all right? And this just shows the league information, not league, but this is a particular tournament. There's an upcoming one. We're actually going to use the Director app end to end, right, for a tournament. And I'm actually going to be a tournament director, working with my buddy Rich Getz. He does a lot of tournaments. He's trusted me and the platform with running the tournament. So we're hoping everything goes without a hitch, but that's the whole point of being in a beta. As you can see here, stand-ins, right? The different events that are in there and so forth. And you can see this just shows the people that are registered because there's no No one's actually bowled this yet. But I could actually register for this tournament through the app now, which is pretty cool. Yep, and there'll be leagues there too. If someone had a league, right, there's no leagues in the system yet. I'll probably do a test league and we'll do a showcase of that. But what happens is when you register for an event, I'll set up a test one. When you set up for an event, any events that you are tied to will automatically come here into your tournaments. All right, and you probably see here that I have this little NEBA tag up on the top right here. That's another thing. This was another user request. So what we did was added this tagging system where you can go and create tags and you can tag your leagues, your sessions, and so forth. So then that way you can historically get your leagues every year for a particular organization, which is nice. So from here, in the bowling centers, which is pretty cool, I'm just going to go to East Providence Lanes. I think this is the one. In East Providence Lanes, we do have the history, right, showing for the activity for centers. So if you save a center, it'll tell you what you did there, right? You can see all your event history and some stats, just quick stats, because there are more detailed stats in the stats section. I think we have, I did a numbers crunch when I was searching up the features and stuff of the app. 1,500 possible combinations of stats, right? And what that means is you can group in, this center at this location, for leagues using this ball, and you can break it down quite a bit. So that is nice. So you could check how you perform at a particular center, right? And it's all in there. And the other thing too, this was a user suggested thing, is a notes about a center, right? I can add a note and say, hey, this is what I feel about this particular center. Here's the notes that I like, and so forth. And you can easily save it in there, right? You can go to the view full stats, right? It just starts to go through by center. Here you got to choose the center. So if we just choose East Providence Lanes, you can see there's 81 games played here or marked. This is all test data. It's not actual game data. It'll show through in here. You can start showing your events, everything, financial costs, right? If you won, profit, breakdown, it gets down pretty good. The balls that are used, which ones do you do really well with at that particular center, right? That's huge, especially when you're doing tournaments and you get to fill out your bag, which is pretty nice. You can check performance by a ball, right? You can go through any of your balls and see how the performance is, right? Oh, how many games do I have with the Jackal? All right, I have more than 8 games, but in this particular scenario, it lists me at 8 games. All right, it's pretty nice. By event type, right? And this is also we also have the ability for Candlepin, right? Because we do have some Candlepin users, right? So you can do this with Candlepin. All these stats will work the same. You just got to change the format away from 10-pin to go to Candlepin, all right? And then you have the ability to format. You can just go by search by a tag. This is why tags are nice, all right? The bowling format, oil pattern, centers, format, right? Because we do have Baker style formats in here, and the time frame and stuff. So it's pretty filterable, your stats, which is pretty nice. You can actually get pretty granular down. TS Vision, this is a pro feature, right? It still says preview because we are working on the TS Vision, and this, I need to refine this screen, but for now it's going to stay like this, because what'll happen is we're going to use the test things. We're going to go week 2, and what this does is it allows me to take a photo, right? And if I had a score sheet, it would go and scan the scoreboard, and it will then OCR, take out the scores and transpose that for you. I'm still working on that. I'm not going to lie, because I track my games frame by frame. So it's a little tough for me sometimes to practice that particular feature. This was added because of my good buddy Jay Olson. He's like, hey, I'd really like to be able just to take a picture of this screen and be fine and get it there. So I added that in to make it easier, right? We obviously have the expenses. This is another big one right here, custom reports. All right, here's some, predefined reports, right? But then you can come in and this is where you can start to really get pretty granular and you can set up your own custom report by however you want. And if you don't see something in here, I would tell you to reach out to me and I can add that pattern of possibility of creating your own custom report outside of any of the canned reports. The stats got a little overhaul. A lot of the stats pages here, this is probably my favorite one, is the pin frame. Before you used to load right into this, it would show you the just this part right here, right? It would just show you all the spares. It'd basically be this screen minus this little window. Now you can actually click. How many times did I miss the 10 pin? You can actually click on the 10 pin. It'll tell you how many times you used what ball to shoot at it, right? Converted 11 times, missed 8 times, right? And so forth, which is pretty nice. If you go to one of these multi ones, right, 0 3 times converted, well, what pins did you leave, right? And so forth, which is pretty nice because then you can start to gauge, hey, you know what? I have to actually go through and practice targeting this a little differently, right? And so that's pretty nice, that little drill down capability. You got your pocket hits, your pin metrics, right? This is pretty nice. This is if you're track. A lot of times you got to track the target and stuff. I'm not really good at tracking my target and stuff yet. I'm still getting into the feel for it. But that's how we do it. So the other thing that I really like, I'm going to choose a practice play here. We're just going to choose a practice game. And this is a regular game. But up here, you see this little button that I just clicked right here. Now it says go live. Why doesn't that go live? We're just going to put a lane. We'll just put 25. Go live. So now we're live. And what that means is I'm going to switch screens here so I can show you what that is. So we're going to go minimize this. Oh, wait, I need that back up. Come on, where are you? Okay. And in here, this is your account screen on the website, tournamentsense.com/account. There's this section called overlays right here. I got to actually get that to show the preview. But what that does is inside of OBS, and this is what we're testing. So we are testing this live. So there may be issues with it, and that's okay. If I see here, I'm now on this screen. So you should see inside here the pin deck. All right, I gotta change the size of this pin deck. All right, I gotta adjust this. All right, so once you actually get it set up, you'll be able to easily come through. And if you were streaming your game, right, you'll be able to show this. And I do have an X9X, right? If you look here on the camera, I'll let it go in, X9X. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the 5 pin right now. So I just clicked the 5 pin, right? You notice a slight delay, but that's okay. You got to expect it. It's going through the internet. I now see that I'm live streaming. So if I was recording and I go back or someone's doing it for me, they can go through and say, oh, Luigi left the 5 pin. All right, let's go through. And we're going to say, you know what? Luigi owes a round of drinks and he misses it. And it updates for you. It's pretty cool, right? Eventually I'll work on making this customizable a little more, but for the initial stage to be able to have this is pretty cool. The other cool thing about this is if I come back to the account page and I come to the profile page, what's the... And if I come here, if you don't stream your games, look what we have. We have it showing the live streaming. Now I'm going to come over here real quick. I'm going to rechange to the scoring screen. So you can see the app reviewer 6868. You can see that I'm using on the... I got to work on getting it to show the ball in the overlay. That's a little trickier. But you can see which ball I'm using. So again, I'm going to go the 10 pin because I always leave a 10 pin. So now you can see there's a 9, right? And from there, I'm going to switch to the TS spare ball. I'm just going to switch to the, we'll just go phase 2 pearl, right? Ball. So you see up here on your profile page, it now changed to the phase 2 pearl, and that's a hooking ball, and I can't flatten my wrist out to save my life, so we're going to miss that 10 pin, sorry. So it's pretty good. So if you stream your games, you could do that. But also, if you're want to share your results with your friends, or you kind of want to have your family and friends watch you can do that. Eventually, I thought about putting inside of this screen like a YouTube embedded YouTube. If you have a YouTube channel, you could potentially just embed the video here on the page, and then you wouldn't need to use the overlay, and you could just send people to your profile on Tournament Sense, and they'll be able to see your games live as well as getting the box score, right? Without having to take up any of the frames on there. So that's pretty cool. This is actually what I wanted to test. I wanted to test this box score part right here that I'm moving around. I wanted to test that out to see how it works. Is it working good, and so forth, which is pretty nice. I do need to try and eventually work on getting this part working in the overlay, right? And then I think it'd be pretty cool. But just let me know your feedbacks and stuff, what people think of that stuff. If you guys think that stuff is pretty cool, I'll try and make it there. I am going to try and stream some of my league events and tournaments, right? So trying to figure that out and get that all set up properly, and how I'm going to stream it and whatnot is in the works. I got to give Micah and Partu, and I'm probably killing his last name, a lot of credit for inspiring me to do this. They do a lot of this stuff with the Candlepin gaming setup. And the other beauty of this is when you're inside the Director app, which we're going to showcase in a second, you have the ability to set up a match play that'll show the two finalists' box frames, kind of like what you see live on TV, right? You see that very much so with like the PBA, PWBA. They show the box score. I probably should add the max score into here somewhere, but I mean, there's always time for improvements and stuff, which is pretty nice. But yeah, I'm really proud of this one. This is pretty nice. And like I said, I've been debating streaming my games and so forth, trying to figure that out. I do know there's a lot of people out there streaming. If you want to include your overlays and stuff in it, here's a great option for you. And if people feel that it would be nice to put this in here where I can embed the YouTube video live, we can try it, and we can even test it with this stream. All right, I just thought of that, so I'm going to make a note of that to do that, because I think that would be really cool. I just got to unlock my laptop. Oh, it'd be nice if I put the right password in. I'm surprised TikTok has not kicked. I'm actually glad TikTok hasn't kicked me off. Last time it's been kicking me off in like 5 minutes, right, or less. So I'm really glad that it's not. So I'm gonna close out of that and go back to the live screen here. So this is pretty cool. I'm really excited about this. I'd love to get people's feedback on that, right, particular thing. The other thing that we have here is the Director app. This is more for tournament directors, league directors, and it's really tough trying to get people away from league secretaries because that's what they're used to. But I'm a little partial, right? I can customize this for anyone, right? If you have a specific need for a league format, I can customize it. Tournaments format, I can customize it, right? That's the beauty of having me as the developer on this. But one of the things that I did do here is I have different organizations. And I thought of someone like my buddy Rich. He has different organizations that he may want to run tournaments off of, right? But not get the stats of the aggregated total, right? He may want the stats from Ripping the Rack versus the Ocean State tournament that he runs at Langs, right? Langs has him run that for them. but he may not want the stats in that, because this is basically a full CRM, right? If you not understand what a CRM is, it's basically a contact resource manager, right, for your tournament directors, league directors, right? The registrations, I'm not going to click in there because there are personal emails in there and stuff, but the registration side will give you basically all the contact information you need, the history of a bowler, you know, how many times they did an event for you. You can get all that information under the registrations tab, right? And I probably need to change that to say registrants or participants, right? In there. But if I go to the Rich Test one, all right, there's no real registrants in here besides me and Rich, so it's okay to show that information. I have the ability for you to hide the listing from the tournament, right? Because when I come back to the app, right, if I come over here, come on, where are you? If I come back over here and I go to find leagues and tournaments, you see how I don't see Rich's tournament in here, right? It's not showing. But when I show it here, it's because I have it private, right? I don't want the entire public to see this, right? I just want, if you go to this link, you'll be able to see that page, right? And you'll be able to register for the event, but it's not going to showcase in the app or the public directory on the website, right? Because we do have a league and a public source. Any center that utilizes the director thing will have their own profile page, which will be able to list all their leagues, any open spots on teams you'll be able to see, tournaments, upcoming tournaments, past tournaments, results. I can make all that possible depending on what the users want to see. But in here, you know, you got your stand-ins, right? There's no stand-ins because there's no one in here. The ability to select an event, create an event, right? What squad, add entries, assign the lanes. You can do shuffling and then scoring. Obviously, I don't have any bowlers in there. I would love to show you guys the Rhode Island one, but I don't like to do that with real people's information. And I did not. This is a last minute decision to do a live stream to kind of showcase a bunch of this stuff. The side pots, you can do side pots separately, so you don't even need to be a tournament director. You can just be a side pot manager. They work hand in hand with each other, so they do work the best with that. But if you're someone that manages side pots, 50-50 raffle, the cards, and you want to keep track of that information for historical purposes, you can do that all here. You know, the collected part, payout part, it'll ledger all that for you. The live match, this is kind of like what we were just talking about. I haven't tested this, so I think now's a good time to test it, right? Let's just go Luigi. Blurt. We'll just do test singles. Test finals. We'll give our boy Carlin Langs a thing here. So we're just going to click go live. So now, wait, where's I need my link, overlay link. I'm going to come over here. We're going to go the scoring page. We're going to change this here. Okay. This is live. I just did this live, guys. You guys can see it right here in the bottom corner. You can see up here, I now have the 2 bowlers, right? And here, I just need to mark what they got, right? I think this screen, I need to add in the same screen from the I drew a blank. The pin tracking, right? The frame tracking. I think I need to make that right here. But this is pretty cool. You can see, you know, it's Luigi. He's definitely gonna miss, so he misses that. But Blurt, he's like my buddy Bobby and them. He's gonna get a strike, right? And then that way you can go back and forth, which is pretty cool. And you can maneuver this wherever, right? And you can change the color of this. I need to try and figure out exactly how I want to get this color changing and sizes and stuff. But for the most part, you could put this somewhere up on the top and it'll come across, right? Make it a little bigger. All right, and if you had the two bowlers bowling where you see the both lanes and such, maybe I can put in a pin deck. I haven't thought about a pin deck yet. We'll let the directors dictate that, right? If they come back to me and say, hey, we really would like to see the pin deck, I think that'd be cool. We can do that just like we do it for the individual bowler profile, right? But this is pretty cool that this is live. I did not test this feature at all before this, so the fact that it's working is pretty cool. I do like that. Oh, thank you for the like there, Daniel. I appreciate you. Yeah, TikTok. I'm really glad that TikTok is actually working. Right, TikTok is pretty good. I'm surprised they're going. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. So if you're looking for that stuff, it's actually really good to see. You know, if you're doing any type of streaming, right? This is just an easy overlay, right? Gives you the link, show menu. If there's another game, I can switch to it, and I could look at potentially doing more stuff like that too. But we'll just do end match. So I'll need to add that in there and stuff, which is pretty cool to have that capability, right? And then I need to make it so that this actually refreshes better. But yeah, it's pretty neat. I mean, there's so much stuff to do within this. The series is more like it's PBA and add in points and stuff, and you can generate series and stand-ins over time, right? The tournament side pots, there's just so many side pots that you can choose from. High game, brackets, doubles, mystery doubles, and stuff. Calcutta, which I didn't really know much about the Calcutta. That was from AK. He actually explained Calcutta to me, which is pretty cool. Eliminator, mystery doubles. I know Bree was asking about mystery doubles, so we're going to work on making sure that, and then we're going to make sure we add the mystery doubles as an option in the game where you'd get randomly assigned with another person. But yeah, this is cool. I really just wanted to hop on here real quick and test out the overlays that we were doing and kind of showcase some of the new, come on, Ryu, the new stuff within the app itself, right? Which is really nice. I mean, there's so much stuff that's happened over here. The partners section, you have the ability to link and partner with people. You have the ability to save teams, right? And then technically you can record your entire teams in a league setting. I did fix in the tournament section. There is the tournament results. When I was updating the app for the last one, I inadvertently, when I changed the wizard to the new tournament setup that we have, the new wizard flow, I actually removed, without realizing it, the cash placement and placement options. So I'm very thankful for the user that submitted a support ticket, and I love that people are using the support ticket system. That was said, hey, how can I enter in my win-ins for a tournament? And I was like, wait a second, that's been there since literally day one. That was what this whole app was created around, was tournament win-ins, right? And it just morphed into all of this. So that is fixed in 2.5, which, I mean, I'm pretty much ready to release 2.5. I'm going to bundle this up tonight. I'm going to do a couple tweaks to the Director app based off of some feedback, but the Director app is separate. That's not going to have a mobile app just yet. I may do the mobile app for the Director app, but 2.5, I'm going to bundle it up and submit it tonight to Apple, and then I'm going to submit it to Android for release. And then once it's released out and everyone gets it, it'll be nice. It'll be a good. I keep clicking this like I know what I'm doing, but it's on my phone. It's literally on my phone here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's 2.5. I mean, there's some under the covers tweaks, right, that you don't know of that happened, right? Just made things move a little better. There was a bug with the centers when you're trying to save a center or create a center for your leagues. It was kind of a little glitchy. I'm hoping that was taken care of. All the tests that I did, adding in the center was a lot better, but sometimes I'm testing it on good Wi-Fi. So just making sure that it's there and saving is pretty nice. I do need to add in, and I may add into it tonight before I release it, the number of weeks per a league, and then that way it'll auto detect the last day, so that way you know when the league is over. Right, so you say this was the last day and so forth. So yeah, that's it. If anyone has any questions, I appreciate the feedback. I'm always open to hear ways to improve or make the app work better for users. And that's it. I hope you all have a good night.